Oh yeah, red team, go! My amplified unit! Monday Night Raw, 12/27/21. The final Raw of 2021. Somehow we all made it to the finish of this sumbitch. And when we all look back on Monday Night Raw for 2021, I think we're all gonna come to the same conclusion. This was the worst year in Raw history. Maybe the worst year in company history. And we dealt through some pretty rough years recently with this fucking company. We just went through the Thunderdome. But 2021 may have been the worst creative or non-creative year that BC and most of you have ever seen in this company's history. So there was no way, no matter where I was traveling to, no matter where I am in the world, there was no way I wasn't going to stop and give a damn review for the final Raw of 2021 because, damn it, my amplified unit deserves the very best on this platform. The number one podcaster, number one content creator, and his name is BC Amplified. That's exactly what we're gonna do. Half the roster wasn't even in attendance last night. No, they were sent home even before the Madison Square Garden show on Sunday night. The reasoning, of course, because of the 19. So you're talking Becky Lynch, and Liv Morgan, and Zelina Vega, and Rhea Ripley, and Seth Rollins, and Big E. Omos was sent home hours before Raw went on the air. I don't know if he was told not to show up, and Omos is like, "Oh, I'm here," and they're like, "Omos, we told you to stay home, dude." But Omos was sent home. Just half the fucking roster, man. So that made for some extra cringeworthy television last night because people were giving more mic time, and it was going nowhere, man. It was setting up jack shit. Wait till you hear what happened with the AJ Styles and Commander Sneeze segment. That was off the fucking rails, again, because it was supposed to be Styles and Omos. Omos showed up, but then was sent home. We were thinking he was never supposed to show up. So then they went with some weird shit to kill time. A lot of filler last night. And when it was all said and done, it left everybody scratching their dome pieces thinking none of this made sense more than usual, right? If it's a WWE show, it usually doesn't make sense. But after last night, man, none of it. None of it. The highlight for Detroit, I guess you would say, was giggling over Randy Orton and Matt Riddle, right? Did everybody giggle in Detroit? Can't really tell if the crowd was really full-fledged into it or not because Vince McMahon was piping in that audio once again. And by the way, Vince wasn't actually there. Bruce Pritchard was not there. Kevin Dunn was not there. We're hearing some top execs were all not there. We don't know if that is directly correlated to the 19 as well. But they were not all there. But don't think for 1 second Vince McMahon was not on the phone non-stop, man. That was probably on a permanent Zoom the entire 3 hours. Because that was all still McMahon. But supposedly Johnny Laurinaitis was helming the show. But, man, the call for piped-in noise, that did not go unnoticed, man. That was exceptionally out of place and obnoxious last night. We're going to get to all of it, man. And I want to start from the jump, man. That's the cold open right there. There's nothing else I want to I want to jump right into this. There's 3 hours of show to get to, and I don't want to keep you here all fucking day. BC's out in the fucking world as it is, as you can tell. This is audio format only. I'm just glad I can get this review to you guys. So let's kick this off, man. Amplified style. Coffee's up. Let's kick some fucking ass, brah. Randy Orton and Matt Riddle. Again, this is the go-home show, by the way, guys, to day one pay-per-view, which is Saturday night. So, not Sunday night, Saturday night. This very Saturday, dude. This is the go-home show. And when it's all said and done, you'll realize you were not extra pumped for anything on day one when the show went off the air. Go-home shows mean nothing anymore to this company. It's just another show. for these fucking people. Anyway, Randy Orton, Matt Riddle start the show. I hear voices in my head. They talk to me. They tell me this show sucks, so change the channel, BC. Immediately, they talk to me. The piped-in crowd applause was actually obnoxious and way off, as I aforementioned and stated. And that's exactly what it was. There's no better way to put it. Obnoxious and way off. I mean, when they piped it in, you could see fucking only 6 people clapping. When they shut it off, it was like on a snap of a finger. So the actual audio did not mesh with the piped in audio. It was just fucking bad, bro. Riddle has a New Year's cone on his head. I can't even... if you didn't watch the show and you want me to fucking detail that more, what do you mean he had a cone on his... Just picture it. You know, when you're partying, and if you want to be the obnoxious person, you put on a fucking cone. Right? I could do the Santa Claus hat thing at Christmas. Okay, that's the line. You want to put a cone on your head, bro. Of course, this was probably fucking Vince's idea. He's screaming at John Laurinaitis on his Zoom. Right? Vince is over in Connecticut. Yeah, get him a hat. Yeah, damn it, Johnny, are you listening? Johnny, give him a, damn it, give him a cone. Give him a New Year's cone. So last second, John Laurinaitis is probably searching in the back to find a fucking cone, puts it on his fucking head, and Riddle has a New Year's cone on his head. He tells Orton he recently turned green. This is in the middle of the ring, by the way. And I know a lot of you don't watch the show. You just tune into BC's reviews, and I appreciate you making me. You make BC your number one go-to guy in the community for reviews. I appreciate the hell out of you guys. So you probably, some of this stuff or most of this stuff you hear and you're like, what? This is straight fucking ludicrous. But it actually happened. Riddle was in the middle of the ring telling Randy Orton that he recently turned green and grew scales. So I guess he's telling Randy that he recently turned into a snake, a viper. Orton then tells the production truck to play a video. And Riddle says, what's a production truck? What's a production? What the? How does anybody laugh or even giggle at this shit anymore? Like, how does anybody laugh at this? There's funny stupid, and then there's obnoxiously stupid. I used to fucking love Matt Riddle down in NXT, even before he got to NXT. While he was misunderstood by many, I knew this dude could be a bright star in that company. You give him some time of day, you give him a good character, you give him good work, you give him good material, and this dude will soar. But, what is, you know, on paper you say, okay, he's rubbing shoulders with Randy Orton for the whole year 2021. You can't fuck this up. This dude has become obnoxiously dumb. Like, you start to lose brain cells when you listen to him now. That's not the ha-ha funny Riddle. You know, you're not laughing because he's funny stupid. This is actually like, my head hurts when he's done with a promo stupid. What's a production truck, man? And right there, I'm like, what do you mean, what's a production truck? Do they forget that Riddle has been involved in interviews where he has told the production truck to play a video? Does anybody else remember that? Oh no, BC's got to remind everybody. Because I'm the only one that keeps my bar really high. I've learned to stop expecting shit from WWE, anything good. But that doesn't mean I'm lowering my fucking bar or my standards. What's a production truck? How does anybody laugh or even giggle at this shit, dude? Anyway, Alpha Academy hit the ramp, and for the next 3 minutes, we are forced to listen to the most cringiest, pointless back and forth in recent memory. And again, this is filler. Half the roster was not there because of the 19. They were sent home before the Madison Square Garden show on Sunday night before Raw. So a lot of people had to be sent home, so they needed filler, right? A lot of people were going to get extra mic time. Now, up front, you're thinking that's a good thing, right? People are going to be made. We're finally going to get to see people's personalities. You know, let them rock, man. Let's see who's got the gift to gab. Who is truly entertaining. There's no reason that BC Amplify, a YouTuber, a podcaster, should be more entertaining than most of the roster. But unfortunately, that's where we are today. BC Amplified is more entertaining than most of these individuals. That's a fucking shame. And that doesn't have to be the case if you just let the cuffs off and let them roam freely. But instead, we have the most nauseating back and forth for 3 minutes. And it's just to set up a couple of stupid singles matches. Riddle and Gable, and Otis and Orton. But we didn't need to go through 15 minutes of that shit to set up those two matches like anybody truly gives a fuck. Matt Riddle then defeats Chad Gable in just under 5 minutes. Please think about that. How do you not feel bad for Chad Gable? Dude's like 5 years into his run and he's been given nothing. Let's be honest, nothing. So what, in year 6, year 7, do they finally give him this big push? Is it going to be as meaningful or as impactful if they gave this kid the ball from the jump? Of course it's not going to be. He's going to have to work 10 times as hard. It's unnecessary. He's easily one of the most gifted wrestlers on the roster, or in this world today. No, he's there just to make this fucking jokester go over. And again, I'm all for a Matt Riddle push. But damn, this has been a nauseating year. I know a lot of people were okay with the RK Bro shit. A lot of you maybe giggled this entire year. I don't mind it, Beastly. They're funny. That's great, man. I'm not even being sarcastic with that. I'm not being passive-aggressive with that. That's literally congrats to you if you can laugh at this shit. My standards are way too high, man. If I could laugh at this for like a week or two or maybe even a full month, okay. Some of the things they did over the course of last year, maybe 3 or 4 things that I saw, pretty funny, okay. The whole fucking year? And after last night, if you're still giggling at this, bro, then we're just in 2 different stratospheres with where we set our bar. Riddle defeats Chad Gable in under 5 minutes. Unacceptable. Then when we came back from break, because then we went to commercial break, when we came back, Randy Orton defeated Otis in less than 4 minutes. Please think about that. Alpha Academy destroyed in less than 10 minutes in 2 different matches. Riddle defeats Gable in less than 5. Orton then defeats Otis in less than 4. That was an RKO to end that match. Post-match, Riddle begs Orton. I can't make this up, bro. I wish I was. Listen to these words, man. Post-match, Riddle begs Orton for a hug for 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Orton's like, nah. And this is supposed to be like Kane and Daniel Bryan, right? Hug it out. But they were never really beefing. So it was never going to get to that level where we gave a shit. This is just a son trying to get a hug with his father, right? Because remember a few months ago when Riddle said that's how he looks at Orton. He's reminded about when his dad went to get milk when he was younger and he never came home. And now he looks at Randy, please don't leave me, Randy, right? Matt Riddle's character now is a kid with daddy issues. It's what it is. He said it himself. So now this son of a bitch is trying to get a hug with daddy, and daddy's like, no, I don't show affection. And Riddle's like, please, Randy, daddy. 1 hug for 2 minutes. For 2 minutes! We had to put up with that shit! 2 minutes! I want to put your fucking dough piece through every brick wall you come across. For those of you wondering, if you're truly invested into this, yes, they hugged. Okay, they hugged. And that was the first half an hour of this show. Literally 31 minutes when BC checked the time. 31 minutes. 31 minutes to just hear Orton and Matt Riddle and Alpha Academy go back and forth with nauseating promos, and then to watch a couple of nonsensical, irrelevant bullshit matches. And 31 minutes into this program, the last show of the year for Raw, and the go-home show to day 1 for Raw, and there is nothing that we saw that has been captivating, and there is nothing to come later in the show that is captivating, unless you love weddings. I'll get to that in a second with Miz and Maryse and Eric Bischoff, of all people. Oh, we'll get to it. That was the first half an hour of this show. I know, man, I get it. Gone are the days of Hogan and Savage, or Stone Cold and The Rock, even Michaels and Taker. But fuck, bro, there is literally nothing to look forward to in this pathetic company, and nobody to even get behind. Thank goodness for Paul Heyman, or I'm not sure we all would have been open to the idea of Roman and Brock for the 12th fucking time at day one. Wrestlers are not superstars anymore. Matches have no storylines, and the show completely sucks. The company is shit. BC's the only one to tell you the way it is, this brutally honest. But somebody's gotta. The rest of the community's taking fucking time off. Now is not the time to take time off. Now's the time to give this company exactly what they deserve. Brutal truth to end the year. Everybody's got a margarita in their fucking hand. BC's screaming his fucking lungs out. No, now's not the time to take time off. BC's gotta fucking give this company what they deserve. An ass whooping. Wrestlers are not superstars. Matches have no storylines. The company completely sucks. The company is shit. The show is off the rails. Moving on. Next was a situation where careful what you ask for, because you just may get it. We said no more park chases for the 24/7 title, right? We're done with Ninja Tozawa dressing up like a fucking snowman. R-Truth is a Christmas tree. And they're running through dog parks trying to roll up Dana Brooke. We said no more park chases. Well, now we get Dana Brooke and Reggie versus R-Truth and Tamina in a mixed tag match in the middle of the ring. Careful what you ask for. You just might get it. Reggie's out there dressed like a double cheeseburger from Mickey D's. I don't know what the fuck that dude was wearing. But he defeated R-Truth in 4 minutes. Reggie defeats Truth. Was supposed to be a fruit roll-up, I believe, but it ended up a botched flip driver. So Reggie basically, he puts it's like a wheelbarrow, basically. Reggie puts himself in a wheelbarrow position, so R-Truth is standing up. Reggie, in his fucking Mickey D's costume, he's the wheelbarrow, basically, right? So it's in that position, and then Reggie does a complete flip, almost, sunset flip type of way, and I think it was supposed to be just a fruit roll-up, but R-Truth took that like right on his dome piece, bro, the back of his neck. So I can't even call it an actual roll-up. Now, if JR wants to do that, that's totally on him, and I can totally see that, because it was supposed to be, but instead, R-Truth got dropped on his fucking dome piece. And so I could believe that he was kind of shaken up by it. 1, 2, 3, and Reggie defeats him. So that's what we got, man. And then before the match and afterwards, Dana Brooke and Reggie are dancing. We have more dancers, guys. So don't worry. If you don't have Dewdrop out there dancing her ass off, you now have Dana Brooke and Reggie dancing, right? We have no shortage of dancers in WWE. It's one big fucking circus in that company. Nothing is to be taken seriously. We put smiles on people's faces. That's Vince McMahon's mission statement, right? That's what Stephanie McMahon and Triple Paul Levesque H. That's what they always say, right? We put smiles on people's faces. You want to really put a smile on our faces? Give us good content, you dumb fucks! Good television! WWE RAW 12/27/21 Go Home Show to Day 1 pay-per-view continues with hour number 2 at this point. It's the finals of the RKBronament. Profits versus the Mysterios. This was a 12-minute match. Really good, actually. Easily one of BC's top 5 WWE tag matches of 2021. I'm not sure that's saying a lot, but it's easily in my top 5. I really have to think about it to see where they are, maybe even in the top 3. But this was definitely a good tag match between the Profits and Mysterios. I didn't need a sham RKBronament to have this match, but this is what they win with, man. I don't run the company, man. You'd be getting better television if BC was running this fucking company. But this tag match, good, man. They kept a great pace throughout the entire 12 minutes. And usually when you do that, you greatly compromise proper selling. However, they all made up for it in their mannerisms, expressions, and especially all of the moments of desperation and disarray. Because there was a lot of moments where they were just like, they were showing like desperation, like they have to win this. Like this was the biggest match of their careers. The titles are on the line right now. And they're taking on the fucking Hart Foundation or the Legion of Doom Road Warriors. Harlem Heat's in there. I mean, sheer desperation a lot. So that made up for it. In the disarray, man. Man, there were so many like near falls and you could see just the disarray on their face. Distraught is maybe a better word. They were distraught every time there was a near fall. So, when all was said and done, man, Montez Ford defeated Dominic. Could have went either way. Honestly, toward the end of that, the last couple minutes of that 12-minute match, that could have went either way. There was a couple of moments where I thought Dominic was actually going to score the pinfall over, I believe, Montez. But it was Montez Ford when it was all said and done, taking the pin over Dominic. Street Profits versus RK-Bro at day 1 now. BC's dream scenario here. Brutal honesty. Street Profits win the titles at day 1. Orton turns on Riddle, and all is right in the world. Hey, we can dream, can't we? I cannot wait till Orton just separates from Matt Riddle, man. This has done nothing in 2021 but make people giggle, I guess, right? They're putting smiles. They're making people giggle, basically. These are tough times. We need giggling. I cannot believe one of the best wrestlers in the world, Randy Orton, has been used like that in 2021. And AJ Styles has been tied to the hip of Omos the entire year. A year where we needed great television to get our minds off of other shit. You had these two dudes tied up in some bullshit to the highest degree. Speaking of Styles, by the way, AJ Styles versus Commander Sneeze was next. It took 10 friggin' minutes just to set this match up. They had NXT 2.0 talent going back and forth with Styles, Grayson Waller, right? The Grayson, the fucking, what do you call it? The fucking Waller effect? The Grayson effect? The dumb fuck effect? I don't even mind the kid. I just, this did nothing. I mean, he got no response at all, bro. If that's how you're going to introduce him to the WWE Universe, and I use that with fucking quotes, it's so dumb. If that's how you're going to introduce him to WWE, the main roster, bro, you got to do a better way than that. The crowd didn't even know who this dude was. Zero reaction at all for Grayson Waller. And this NXT 2.0 talent is going back and forth with Styles. Then they had Apollo come out with Commander Sneeze. And Apollo is going back and forth with Styles. Then Commander Sneeze says some words. Like I want a match with you now. And AJ's like, ring the bell. And then we go to commercial after all of that, by the way, before we even had a match. Then we went to commercial. That's what I mean. 10 freaking minutes to set this up. And get this. When we came back from break, It wasn't even Commander Sneeze, bro. We came back from break and it ended up being Styles versus Apollo. What the fuck? No explanation at all, man. No explanation at all. No, I think they gave it right when they came out. Apollo's gonna stand in for Sneeze. I'm like, then what the fuck was the... I literally, guys, I was trying to think. I was like, what the fuck? Why would you have Sneeze... say, I want to match with you right now. He's unbuttoning his little Sneeze jacket. AJ's like, okay, ring the bell. We go to commercial. We come back and Apollo's in the ring. I mean, did Vince last second go, all right, when we come back from break, Apollo, you get in the ring. You, Apollo. Commander. You stand like a commander on the outside. I don't understand what happened there, man. Or do they really not... do they not understand how befuddlingly stupid this all was? I honestly think we're at a point where this company doesn't even understand the fucking dumbfounding decisions that they're making. The befuddling decisions that they're making. They don't even understand it anymore. I think that's how tragic, to the levels of tragic, that this company has finally stooped to. And then after I thought about it, I was just like, whatever, dude. Just wrestle. Just wrestle. Who gives a shit? I mean, literally. You're talking to somebody who tunes in out of habit and hope as it is. And I got to a point where I can't even question this right now because I'm getting more of a headache. Just wrestle. Just fucking wrestle. Wrestle and get this over with. Match was decent for a 6-minute match, I guess. Styles clash and Apollo was looking up at the lights. Post-match, Styles delivers a phenomenal forearm to Commander Sneeze. Nobody gets over here. Nobody popped for Grayson Waller. Nobody even knew who this kid was. Everybody was about to go to bed after the promo work was all said and done. When we come back from commercial, the match that was announced wasn't even happening. So it was the second time, actually, because it was supposed to be AJ Styles versus Omos. Omos was sent home earlier in the day. So then we were told Commander Sneeze versus Styles. When we came back from break, that wasn't even the match. And then when it was all said and done, Styles is just beating Apollo and then forearming Sneeze. So who's getting over here? Is Styles are these just tune-ups for Styles' big Omos Day 1 match? If that's where it gets booted to? I don't... that's... Moving on. I mean, we can spend an hour on this befuddling bullshit. Let's move on. Kevin Owens versus Cedric Alexander. Now, this took another 10 minutes just to set this match up. Again, filler, guys. The theme of the night was filler. They didn't have half the roster. They gave people mics. And you're hoping that this is going to showcase, this is going to make wrestlers who have been chained at one point, at their whole career, basically, cuffed. This is finally going to take those cuffs off. And now, because we need filler and they're going to give people more mic time, people are now going to become superstars after last night. That's not what happened. Instead, we just got more nonsensical, cringeworthy promos. This took another 10 minutes just to set this match up. Owens and MVP are going back and forth on the mic. Then Cedric and Shelton hit the ramp. And they go back and forth with Owens because Bobby Lashley was another dude that was, I don't even know if I mentioned him. He was another dude that was not there last night. So MVP, they had to throw. This is what they do. The Hurt Business is no longer the Hurt Business. But whenever Bobby's not there, or they need to use Cedric and Shelton to be the jobbers like what happened with Goldberg, they needed Goldberg to beat somebody up. They brought in Cedric and Shelton and acted like the Hurt Business was back for 1 week. And I told you that was just 1 week. The rest of the community was talking about, the Hurt Business is back. Yeah! I was the only one in the community to say that was only for 1 week and just to get beat up by Goldberg. And of course, like always, I was the only one in the community that was correct. Same thing with Kevin Owens re-signing with WWE and so much beforehand. So here comes Cedric and Shelton because they don't have Bobby Lashley and they don't want to get creative. So we'll just put them back with MVP. So Cedric and Shelton are going back and forth with Kevin Owens as well on the mic. And then we go to another damn commercial break. Just like what happened with Sneeze, Apollo, and Styles. After all of that back and forth promo work, who's wrestling who, let's just get to it, please. Even Owens, before we went to break, man, Owens even said, can we just rush this along, please? Cedric and Shelton, you want to be back with MVP, you want to become the Hurt Business. You want me to be the stepping stone to do that. Let's just ring the bell, ref, get out here. Boom. And then we went to commercial break. And when we came back from commercial break, after 10 fucking minutes of trying to set this match up, we finally got Owens versus Cedric. No bullshit. We started the setup to this match with a few minutes left in the second hour, and by the time the match started, we were 10 minutes into the third hour. Those are real times, by the way. I did my research for you guys. I know a ton of the roster was not available, but the filler in this show was exhausting. Straight exhausting. Owens defeats Cedric with a stunner. Post-match, Owens drops Shelton with a stunner. Same thing that happened with Styles, right? So he beats one of the dudes, in this case Apollo, and then he takes out Commander Sneeze. In this case, Owens beats Cedric, and then post-match takes out Shelton. And it's just like how we started the night with Orton and Matt Riddle taking out both Orton taking out Otis and Gable. So, you know, it's a constant WWE thing where they just try to build someone up by tearing others down, and when you do that, nobody's going to get over. Nobody. Because we're always going to be talking about who was done dirty if you do business that way. And it was Riddle that defeated Gable, by the way. Less than 5 minutes. Randy Orton defeats Otis less than 4 minutes. That's what it was. Either way, we're seeing multiple dudes just in nonsensical booking. There was no need to have any of these dudes in those type of matches. We then go on to the U.S. title match because Dolph fucking beat this dude by a DQ in a contenders match last week, so now he gets a fucking title match. U.S. title match, Damian Priest, the champion, taking on challenger Dolph Ziggler. No shade to Dolph, but here's a dude who has only 3 wins in his last 40 matches. That's a real statistic, and he's in a title match. It's just ridiculous by the highest of measures. As for Priest, he lost to Dolph last week via DQ, and this week, in this title match, he lost again via DQ. Same thing. The same exact finish, guys. So Damian Priest, our U.S. title holder, is losing all of these matches recently. And why? Why? Why, do you ask? It's to give Dolph Ziggler some limelight, some spotlight? Really, bro? You're willing to have your champion lose all these matches because somebody in a tag team of the Dirty Dogs you want to give spotlight to all of a sudden after fucking 10 years? Dolph Ziggler needs these wins now all of a sudden? This is absolutely fucking asinine, bro. But basically, they're protecting him, man. These are DQ losses. Okay, they're making him look like a fucking idiot. Last week was one thing. It's a contenders match, and he gets himself DQ. He gives Dolph a title match. He just gifts him it because he can't control himself. That's what the fuck? So he just gave somebody a title match. Now he's in a title match. You know, his whole character is based on he's better than everyone. That's why he's the champion. His character is, I can beat you straight up. That's been Damian Priest anyway, on the main roster. And all of a sudden in a title match, he's not even abiding by any rules. Just DQs himself, gifting Dolph Ziggler another title match. Again, maybe I could start to be on board with some of this if it all made sense from the jump. But you have a dude in there who is 3-40 in his last 43 matches. 3 wins and 40 losses. A couple of those, by the way, are in tag team matches with the Dirty Dogs, Robert Roode. So I'm not understanding where any of this makes sense. Again, you're asking me, BC, just sit back and enjoy it, man. You're thinking too hard on it, man. Well, now you're asking me to lower my bar. And if you're going to tell me, well, if you don't like it, don't watch, well, that's never going to happen, right? When my Packers have a bad season before the Brett Favre days, before Rodgers, before Brett Favre, we were a bad fucking team. I didn't stop watching my Packers, and now I get to reap the fruits and the rewards that Favre and Rodgers have given to us Packer fans because I stuck with it. I complained, I bitched, I moaned, I ranted, no doubt. When my Knicks, for the last fucking 20 years it seems, have been horrendous, mostly anyway. Past couple years we're showing some signs of life. My Knicks, if you don't like it, don't watch. What the fuck? No. I'm going to rant, I'm going to bitch, I'm going to moan, I'm going to complain. We're going to come together as a community, as a Knicks community, and we're going to tell you, management, exactly where the fuck the faults are. Exactly what needs to be changed, exactly why we're not happy, and we stuck with it, man. And if the Knicks ever have a winning season, man, or can make some playoff victories, we're going to be there to fucking, to love that shit, man. And my Yankees have not won a World Series in fucking 10 years plus. I'm not just going to stop watching them. I grew up on pro wrestling, especially WWE. I'm not just going to give up because people are telling me, if I don't like this entertainment, just don't watch it. No, absolutely not. I'm going to bitch, I'm going to moan, I'm going to complain, I'm going to rant, I'm going to make it fucking better. I'm going to make it better. And it's hard to do when people are showing up, buying tickets, and accepting any bullshit that Vince McMahon sends their way. Giggling at RK-Bro. It can be so much better, man. Pro wrestling as a whole, WWE more specifically. But this is what we're doing. Dolph Ziggler plucked out of obscurity. 3 for 40. 3 out of 40 in his win-loss. And all of a sudden, he's getting title matches. Because Vince doesn't like people like BC, because I actually remember this shit. I actually call this shit out. I have my bar high. I have standards. I know why this company is tanking, why they've been in the 1.5s the past 3 weeks in the ratings. I wouldn't doubt it if they were in the 1.5s for a 4th week. Or maybe just barely in the 1.6s. I wouldn't doubt it. The main event was reserved for the vow renewal of Miz and Maryse. And the service was being overseen by Eric Bischoff. Hold on, let me get a swig of coffee before I go over this main event, man. There's a lot to unpack here. Give me a second. Again, this was the wedding vow renewal for Miz and Maryse. And the service was being overseen by Eric Bischoff, of all people. Eric Bischoff. This is the type of dude, man. He's going to show up to WWE RAW last night in that segment. He's going to be talking shit about WWE later on in the week. And he'll be showing up to AEW by the end of 2022. I assure you. Eric Bischoff going to play both sides of the fence. So Eric Bischoff is overseeing this, man. Miz trips up the stairs just trying to get in the ring. I thought that was pretty funny. He laughed at himself. Miz was, the ropes were all off, so it was just a staircase. Basically, you walk down the ramp, you just keep going straight up a staircase. That was put up there from a white staircase. And Miz just tripped right up it, man. That was pretty funny. When Edge finally came out later, he actually made reference to that. It was pretty funny. Again, Miz laughed at himself. During the vows, Miz was hammering Detroit, garnering ultra heel heat, man. He just kept on saying he can't believe that him and Maryse, they were in the Bahamas for their actual wedding, and here they are in a fucking dumpster fire like Detroit. And he's like, these are people that actually root for the Lions. So Detroit was pissed. Pissed off at Miz, man, but, Miz is like that, man. The funniest part here was where Miz tells Maryse that he's going to say his vows in French. He then proceeds to speak Spanish. Like, literally, man. Maryse literally says, Mike, no, that's Spanish. I just thought it was hilarious, man. Miz's booking is usually trash, but the dude is generally funny. And I've said from day one, no pun intended, but from day one, I have said that Miz is best when he is with Maryse. So I just love them two together. Brings out the best in Miz as well. And Bischoff says, at the end of this vow renewal, if there's anyone who doesn't think these two should be together, please speak. Oh, we all know how this is gonna go. So he literally was, how at the end of any wedding, you say, if anybody does not believe that these two should be joined in holy whatever matrimony, please speak now or forever hold their peace. Whatever. So Bischoff is in the middle of saying that. If there's anyone that does it, and then he just stops and he goes, we know how this is going to end. In other words, somebody is going to come out, and sure enough, Edge's music just cascades throughout the arena. And Edge comes fucking with such velocity. I love the excitement, the velocity, the amplification, the energy that Edge brings, man. At his age, he brings more energy than anybody on the roster today, any of the younger guys. Just his presence alone, his entrance alone is more electrifying than 99.99% of that roster. It's sad, actually. But Edge's theme is cascading throughout the arena. Edge has some back and forth with Miz on the mic. Before saying, what did he say, man? Edge says, you weren't planning on a white wedding, were you? I think that's exactly what he said. That was the end of Edge's promo after some back and forth. And he says, you weren't planning on a white wedding, were you? And he steps back and legit, the Brood theme. Do you guys remember the Brood? The Brood theme then thunders through the speakers, and the black Brood blood drops down by the barrels from high above the ring. Maryse's white dress, Miz's white tux, completely ruined as Edge lives up to his promise earlier in the promo to embarrass the Miz. Fade to black. We go off the air. And that is your last Raw of 2021. I didn't mind the end segment. I know a lot of people are going to be like, what the fuck did we witness? What is this trash? What is... This is wrestling in 2021. But they were honestly doing stuff like this back in the Attitude Era. Sometimes you do have to go back and recreate shit. I understand that. Sometimes it makes sense to. Sometimes something was just so good, you got to do it again. Like when the big boys went through the ring. Who was that? Big Show and Brock Lesnar. And then they did it a million other times with like Mark Henry and so many others. Where the ring just collapses. I understand you got to do that several times. It's too good not to, you know? And that's... You know, Kane used to do that too. Kane used to have the blood drop from high above. So I'm okay with those segments, man. Usually we're ending with some stupid fucking match with a roll-up finish, and then we fade to black and go off the air. At least this adds to more Miz and Edge, which I'm on board with. I don't mind this because I know it's ultimately, hopefully anyway, going to lead to a mixed tag with Maryse and Miz versus Edge and Beth Phoenix, the return of Beth Phoenix. And when it comes to mixed tag matches, man, I'm okay with those four for sure, dude. I am absolutely on board with that. I just want to see Beth Phoenix in there rocking on the main roster again. And if this is the way to do that, then fuck yeah, man. So we'll let Edge and Miz do this at day one. And then we'll get that mixed tag hopefully at Royal Rumble. I don't think this can drag out to WrestleMania. I hope that's not what they're planning here, guys. I'm okay with the mixed tag. WrestleMania might be too long to have this feud go to, man. That's another 4 months. Jan, Feb, March. Almost 4. 3.5. It's a little bit too much. Let's wrap this up at the Royal Rumble in that mixed tag match. And that was Raw, man. I mean, aside from a couple of things, that tag match with the Mysterios and the Prophets was easily the best match of the night. I didn't mind the finish as much as you guys probably thought I did. You probably thought I was just going to totally wreck it. But everything Edge touches turns to gold. Miz is best when he's with Maryse. So there was a lot of, there's a lot in that end segment that I'm not going to harp on as much as I know a lot of you guys thought I was going to. But that doesn't mean it doesn't need to get better going forward. Of course it does, man. In 2022, this company needs to find itself. Because this company has been absolute trash for years. 2021 has just been the worst year in the company's existence. No matter how you feel about BC, right? You could say I'm an asshole, I'm mean, I'm the boogeyman, I'm always ripping these shows apart. I'm always so negative. I never find the positives, and you know that would be bullshit if you watch this channel religiously from second one to the final second of every video. You know I search for every positive, and when I do find one, any inkling of a positive, by the way, when I do find any positive, I absolutely spend time, a lot of time on that positive. Because that's actually what I do want to talk about. The problem is, especially with this company, it's been so bad for so long. It's hard to even try to find any traces of positive. So that's why it seems I'm so negative all the time. If the company produced more good shit, BC could talk about it more. But no matter if you think I'm just the most negative dude in the community, I'm always just ripping these shows apart, I'm such an asshole, I think we all would have to agree that in 2021, this was the worst year for WWE creatively. It was the opposite of they were non-creative this entire year. It's like they stopped caring. They did not even care anymore in 2021. They put no energy or effort into anything, not even their pay-per-views, much less their storylines. There was none. Wrestlers no longer feel like superstars. Matches and feuds no longer have storylines. There's barely feuds. And pay-per-views no longer feel like pay-per-views. They're no longer the night where you have to see all these culminating stories climax. There's no more of that. Now you're just seeing matches on pay-per-views thrusted together within 24 hours. Most of them are matches we've already seen 27 times previous. That's not what pay-per-views were based on. This company has 1,000,001 problems to try to get in order by 2022. And they have to start 5 years ago. So yeah, this company is in a world of shit. There's a reason that their ratings are stuck in the 1.5s right now consistently. And if they don't change their ways by the end of 2022, they're going to find themselves hitting a 1.2. Easily. Every year they have been losing 250 to 300,000 viewers. There is no reason to believe that trend will not continue. At the end of 2022, do not be shocked if this company has hit a 1.2. And by then, the other company that's on their ass, AEW, that just went over 1 million on Wednesday night of all places. Wednesday night! Monday night is a way better television night than Wednesday, and this company just went over 1 million while Vince is going backwards at a 1.5. There's no reason to believe that Tony can't pull over a 1.2 by the end of 2022, and Vince ain't going to be going backwards at a 1.2, and then we have a new biggest promotion in pro wrestling after just 3 years of existence in AEW. And that's not a shill who coddles the balls of one company or the other. I'm just saying, because trust me, I'm the only one in this community that'll call out all the flaws in AEW. Every other content creator and podcaster wants to get a job with AEW. So they're going to coddle their fucking balls. Not BC, man. I call out all their issues as well. But I'm seeing one company go forward, and I'm seeing another in WWE going backwards. That was the last Raw. They're in a world of shit on an entire 3-hour show when I can only think of 2 things that I was okay with. That's a major fucking problem. And if you think I'm going to use the excuse of half the roster wasn't there because of the 19, basically, even better. You don't have a circuit. Your circus is cut in half. You could take the talent that you have and actually get creative with them. This is more of a reason not to have any excuse. When you have a roster of 60 fucking people, it seems, on any given Monday, it could be much harder. This was the time to have some fun shit, some creativity. They brought nothing. They don't give a shit. They stopped caring. Now we go on to SmackDown, and that will be the official last show to day 1. And BC will be with you every step of the fucking way. But until then, you know what we got to do, man. And I hope to cover Dynamite this week as well. So just stay subbed and notified, guys. You know, there's a lot of content to come this week. We're not taking any time off just because it's the end of the fucking year. This is a time more than ever where we have to fucking put the foot on the gas. And we have to critique this shit better than anybody in this community, man. There's no time for taking time off. No, absolutely not. So BC's got to keep rocking, man. As long as we are able to, that's exactly what we're going to do. So until next time, guys, you know, think, be, live, amplified always. And until next time, we'll check you later. Red team, go!